Okay, Book of Delights. Here we go. Okay. Trying to think of where we left off. I'm going to go towards the end. Oh, okay. We left off with a spoonful of peanut butter and hot chocolate. That was a good one. Ooh, number 65, the feeling of fuzz, the fuzz of a peach in your mouth. Yeah. That's right. You never wash peaches. You can't, you take the fuzz right off. It ruins the whole experience. No, that's fantastic. Have you not done it? It's fantastic. Thank you, James. I think we can all agree James is a good person.
I think I can agree with that assessment. That's a good assessment.
Yep. All right, number 66. Oh, here's for you writers. When you're reading a great book and the author wraps up the story exactly the way your heart wanted it to be. That's so satisfying.
That wasn't Animal Farm.
Number 67. The perfectly skipped rock. When it just, yeah, isn't that great?
And it like skips all the way across the pond and makes it to the other side.
I wrote this one on the way up here. That feeling in your chest when the plane first takes off and your body is pushed back into the seat. All right. Okay, so let's start getting some from you guys. All right, give me some delights. What do you got?
When a song is stuck in your head that you really like.
Yeah, just on repeat. That's good. What do you got?
So I put this one to lay all over the break, but when you bite into like a perfectly ripe pineapple and it's so juicy and you're not used to the flavor yet.
Perfectly ripe pineapple. It's good. I got a pineapple. Oh, see, now I was thinking tonight, but with community groups, we got to do those other s'more things.
We should cut the pineapple into that.
Let's do. Oh, we're doing peanut butter and pineapple tonight. We're gonna try that out.
That feeling you get when you go to the grocery store and you pick out just random stuff and it checks out to the exact dollar amount.
No, $20. You know, that's good. That's a good one. What do you got, Caleb?
This one happened to me and Riley yesterday. It's forgetting to grab a cart only to find an empty one in the store that you can use. It was so good.
Yeah.
There in the middle of the aisles, and it was just nobody was there.
Nobody's there.
Empty. It was like,
There it is. Of course, like 3 minutes later, some little old lady with her cane came walking. Where'd my cart go? You know. Okay. Yeah. I'm kidding.
Satisfying sound when you split a piece of wood.
Oh, first strike, and it just fresh cut cedar. So good.
My dad's lawn is built out of cedar, so every time he turns it on,
Yeah, it's good. All right, what you got?
this summer, $20, like washed up on the beach, and I thought that was pretty delightful.
Finding. Did you guys like when winter comes back? You put your winter coat on, put your hand in it, and there's like a $5 bill sitting in there. Finding money you forgot about. That's a good one. I actually will do this. I don't remember to do it every year, but a lot of winters, when I know it's like this is probably the last time I'm wearing my winter coat, I'll put a $1 bill or something in there and just be like, future Jeff's gonna thank me. You know? Yeah. It's good. Yeah. All right, you got another one, Caleb.
Feeding feral animals.
What's that?
Like whether it's like a deer or like you're maybe like feeding a mouse that got caught in a sticky trap like a little cracker.
Hey, you're dying, but here's a little cracker.
The courtesy.
He accepted the courtesy. It's a last meal kind of thing. Yeah.
Out of the sticky trap and kept him for a little bit, but Stephen lost him.
We're going to have to put that in the Book of Redneck Delights. That would be the one. Oh. Caleb, you got another one?
stopping on a hike at the perfect spot to take in the view, smell, and sound.
Yes. Oh, that's heaven. That is heaven.
Give mine.
All right.
It's the way the snow glitters at night next to the lamppost and air.
Yeah,
Feeling.
that's pretty great. It's pretty great. Good.
The daylight hits that perfect golden hour, right? Where you're working and you look up and everything looks just golden.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right.
When you wake up too early and you realize you get to sleep for another hour.
Yes. Yes.
Too early and realize there's so much more you can do that day.
Oh, Nathan, why are you ruining the moment, man? You know, it's good.
I've got a good one.
All right, one more.
When you forget that it's baking day and you walk into the kitchen tomorrow.
Hard to argue with that one. All right. Good. Okay, you got more. Here, let's just do this. I don't want to pass everything out. Pass them around. Pass them around. Oh, sorry. All right, if you have more delights, we'll be sharing them later. Is there a way to make it not this dark?
Oh, yeah.
That'd be great. Thank you. Okay, here's what we got coming today.
Wait, no, let's turn off that one and put that on the blue
See,
one.
this middle row is always going to throw me.
That was bright.
All right, so here's what's coming down today. First session, we're going to talk about finding the will of God and then we'll do our break at 11 a.m. I've got another Zoom call for you. I don't know if you guys are enjoying the Zoom calls. Are they? You connecting with them? Good. Okay. It's sort of thing where it's like I'm connecting you guys with some of the best people I've known in my entire life, but I don't always know if it translates through Zoom as a verse like because I've been in the same room as these guys. I don't understand the light switch. You'll flip it on and two will come on and one will go off. I don't know how it. Electrical engineering in Alaska is special.
This is an old building.
It's an old building. Nothing's burned yet. So the guy that's today, his name is Kevin Woods. I'll tell you more of his story here, but he's a really cool guy. He lives in Seattle. He serves the homeless population of Seattle. And I don't know if any of you guys are into tattoos or not. This dude's got some tattoos. He's one of like face tattoos and stuff. And he's got one. I don't know how well it'll come through this camera, but he's got a hummingbird right here on the side of his face where it looks like it's taking nectar out of his eye. Right there. And anyway, he's got. Your grandma's not a fan of that. Oh, she would love that. Maybe you could show it to her, and your grandma will want to get this tattoo.
His grandma's like a Harley Davidson riding biker.
Okay.
Oh, that's my aunt.
That's
My
your-
grandma was a hardcore mountain woman.
Hardcore mountain woman with get a hummingbird tattoo on her face. I'll tell you more about that guy, but I'll just tell you this: when I got to watch him in action, it was like watching. I'm pretty sure that's exactly how Jesus was with people. It's a beautiful thing. But anyway, so he's coming at 11. I'm saying that out loud. You guys have not gotten to experience Jeff Pernsteiner with time yet. You just haven't. Anyway, I'm saying it out loud so that somebody remembers. Which, by the way, I hope you remember. Groups that work with me, they just know if there's a clock issue and Jeff's up front, we're just going to have to at some point say Jeff, and then point to the time. And I hope you're not one of those groups that just stands there politely and is like, well, is anybody going to say anything? Just say something. That's what I want from you. My church I'm not joking you, my church hired somebody because, Carrie Wicks, and they're just like, Jeff can't handle clocks. We're going to hire somebody that can do clocks for him. So, and she's fantastic. So, she's what God said. Anyway, okay, so that's coming at 11. And then later in the afternoon, our third session is going to be, of the topics we're going to cover, it's going to be my favorite. No, I have lots of favorites, among my favorites. I'll just put it that way. So whether that translates to a good lesson or not isn't always the case. All right, today we are going to talk about finding the will of God. Now, I'm assuming that's of interest to you guys. It's kind of like the age, right? Where you're trying to figure out what you're going to do with your life and all that. Something I want to, I broke it. I forget sometimes I have two of these and just I just rip things apart. Let go. Here we go. Okay. So if this part may be helpful for some of you to hear. All right. So in the, I'm thinking in terms of like the followers of Christ, kingdom of God, all that. There are about 5,000 valid ways to serve the Lord and great things to do with a person's life. This one is mine. And what we've been talking about this week, doing Ministry of Mercies, widow, orphan, in their distress, that's what I've specialized in. And I don't know if you need to hear this or not. I hope you don't feel pressure of like, oh my goodness, now I have to do this with my life. You don't. I do. And I'm here to tell you what I've specialized in, thinking that there's going to be a couple of you that should specialize in it too. Now, everybody, you see somebody bleeding in a ditch, you help them. I don't care what your calling in life is. It doesn't matter. You're a follower of Christ. There's your calling. You see somebody bleeding in a ditch, you help them. Some of you, though, should jump in and specialize. So when you listen to Cheryl, and like her as a counselor, her working with foster care, like, oh man, maybe I should do that. Amanda, Devin, and Satara, they're going against human trafficking and exploitation of women, poverty, that kinds of thing. You might hear like, oh, you should specialize in that. But some of you should specialize in something else entirely. But just remember to help the people you find bleeding in the ditch, kind of a thing here. So what I want to go over today has nothing to do, it's not specific to this ministry. It's just about following God and finding his will for your life. But some of you may find yourself like, hey man, I'll come join you over here because I'd like to do that too. There, so, all right. And over this course of this year, you already have, and you will continue to have guys come in and they'll speak with such passion over their area. And that's actually when the church is at its strongest, when we have people who specialize in things. But don't feel pressure to have to do everything that everybody brings to you, including me. But some of you should. All right? Okay. So that in mind, what is God's will for my life? I want to just start with this. Is this something that's on your mind? Like, are you really thinking about this? I want to find God's will for my life. Is this a regular thought? Process that one a little bit with me. Talk about what you're thinking and feeling there. Okay, you feel overwhelmed by it? Well,
How do I figure that out? How do I know what I'm supposed to do? 'Cause I don't feel like I want to waste my time pursuing the wrong thing.
okay, a little overwhelming. Overwhelming, don't want to pursue the wrong thing. And what's the, like, project that one out to me for like 10, 15, 20, 30 years. If you get the wrong thing, what are you worried about?
That I guess that I'll just like be miserable.
Okay.
Not doing what I feel like I'm called to do or supposed to do.
Lead to misery. That's a nice thought, isn't it? Man, I hope when I'm 22 that I don't screw everything up so I'm miserable the rest of my life. Yeah. Okay. Can you guys relate to what he's talking about? Yeah, that's pretty common thing. Yeah,
Yeah, I
what-
get on that thought line as well, and I worry, I'm like, well, how do I know I'm on the right path? And I'll think that I know, but then like a door shuts. And I think to that moment about how I was certain that this was the right direction and that things were going right. And that can be very confusing.
Okay.
Especially when you're actively trying to listen for the voice of God, and it feels like things in your life are being conflicting for what you're hearing.
Okay. Uncertainty. Okay.
Don't want to let
Yeah. Do you have specific people in mind or like groups of people in mind with that?
Yeah, a lot. You know, if you're going in the mission field of like caring for people, especially, right? They now, you know, we are only supposed to trust in the Lord, but there's positions where people are to trust us with their safety, their well-being, right? And you don't want to let anyone down when they are trusting you.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Anybody on this half? It's okay if you don't. You don't have to. Yeah. I was worried for me that my life was going to be a giant swing and a miss. I'm just like, I'm going to do this thing, and then I'm going to get to the end of my life, and like, or no, not get to the end of my life. That I'm going to miss something right now, and if I miss something right now, that there's no chance of me ever correcting it. That was a fear I had. Here, yeah.
Not living up to your full potential, but knowing what you could do.
Okay, not full potential. Yeah, good. All right, we're down at the bottom of the whiteboard. I'm going to go ahead and finish that word. I was about to abbreviate, not full pot, but that means something different in Alaska. There, so, okay, yeah. All right. Let me give you a few responses to this first. Number one, I want to say this. I think it's super cool that you're taking your life seriously. People that are nervous about getting it wrong, that means they're taking it, like they care enough to get it right. I like that. So if you're nervous, that's a good sign. It's a good sign. Here's the other thing I'm going to say. Relax. Relax. You're not going to have a swing and a miss. Not if you care about how your life goes. You're not. And if you do have a swing and a miss, you don't miss something in 2026 and it's like, well, I guess that's the end of that then. My life is just going to be one like giant pit of disaster for the next 70 years and then I'll die. Amen. Like that's just not how it goes. It's not. So just relax a little bit here. But then the other part of it is to do think it through. All right, and so what I want to do, I want to walk you guys through the process that I have found helpful for me. Now, whenever it comes to finding the will of God, you're going to get a lot of people bring a lot of different ideas. Their ideas may be better than mine. I was going to say that right now. But these ideas that I'm going to share with you have really bolstered my life. Perhaps they'll translate into yours as well. All right, first, okay, let me ask you this question. Before we get in, I gave you an article. We're not going to read the article yet, but we're going to get in that article. Before we get in that article, my question is, if you take any person, and each day they are faithful to do the good thing that's in front of them, or let me rephrase that, 90% of the days, they are faithful to do the good thing that's in front of them to do. 20 years from now, what's the most predictable outcome for their life? What do you think? They're faithful the majority of the time for 20 years. Most predictable outcome.
They'll please God.
Okay?
Well done, good and faithful servant.
Please God, well done.
They'll continue to be faithful.
They'll continue to be faithful. Oh. Do you think if we saw that person and they'd been faithful for 20 years, we look at them and say, you've been faithful, but your life has been one giant disaster because you missed that thing in 2026. You were supposed to go into this job, not that job, and well, you messed all that up, didn't you? You're supposed to marry that girl, and you let her get away. So you messed all that up. Do you think that's what we'd say to them? Or do you think we'd look at them at the end of those 20 years and say, that's a life well lived. You've been faithful. It's a life well lived.
I think there will be misses too, plenty of them. 20 years is a long time.
Yeah, you can miss a lot of things 20 years, can't you? Okay. Yeah, right? And come on, what kind of a God would he be if we were faithful for 20 years and he came to us and said, I know you've been faithful for 20 years, but you picked the wrong career. You disappointed me. Like, what kind of God is that? Hey, have you ever seen a dad like that? That you, no matter what you did, you couldn't please him? Do you honestly think your Heavenly Father is like that? Hey, he's not like that. And this is one where I give him a little credit here. Give him a little credit. It's like, relax into his love. Relax into his acceptance. Of just, if you are faithful, here, you want to know what God's will for your life is? Here's what it is. Be faithful to do the good thing that's in front of you to do today. That's his will for your life. And if you just keep doing that for decades, you'll get to the end of those decades and say, that was a life well lived. Right? So just relax a little bit on that. It's okay. Now, I'll tell you this. I say that it's a lot easier to say that at 48 than it was to believe at 18 here. And so my story a little bit there. So I'm one of these weird people that I knew what I was going to do with my life when I was 12 years old. I don't know why it worked out that way, but it did. I was a part of this church that invested a ton in this youth group. I was in 7th grade. They had this thing where they would turn the church service over to the youth group, and we would do all of it. We'd lead the singing. A kid from the youth group would preach, like everything. This whole thing, start to finish. I'm in 7th grade. My youth pastor comes to me and says, "Hey, Jeff, we want you to preach." 7th grader. And I was like, "I'm not preaching." And you guys may not know this about me. Now, you guys probably have a picture of me as being a little bit of an extrovert. I don't know if that's the picture you have of me or not. I am 100% not an extrovert. I turn on a gear when I get here, and when I get on the plane, I'm gonna sleep for 3 days. I am. I love it here. I love all the interactions. But I shift into a mode here. I'm the guy, when I come into a room, I want to come in last, sit in the back row, leave first, and just go about my day. That's my style. Standing up in front of the group crowd preaching, like, are you kidding me? And my youth pastor came to me and said, "Jeff, are you going to preach?" I was like, "I'm not preaching." He's like, "All right, you can tell me no, but not right now. You have to go home and ask God. You have to pray." And I was like, "I'm going to go home and I'm going to ask God, and then I'm going to come back and tell you I'm not preaching." And then at 12 years old, I went home and I prayed, and I'm like, you know what, maybe I should just try it. And I did. And when my church family, after 12-year-old Jeff got up to preach, they surrounded me with love, and whether they were crazy or delusional or not, they actually just told me, "Jeff, you're really good at this." And then a few other things happened, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to be a pastor. I thought I was going to be a missionary to China. That's where I was headed, but I knew I was going into ministry. And I'd go to college. I meet the greatest girl in the whole wide world. After 2 years of college, we decide to get married. We have no money. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to do an apprenticeship under her pastor while I earn enough money to go back to school. And I had no idea how expensive life was. Not a clue. And so we get married. We're renting our own place. I'm working this crappy job, making minimum wage. And I had this idea in my head how much I was going to pay for school, and it just never happened. And then 3 months after we were married, my wife's like, "Surprise, I'm pregnant." And like, that was not in the plans. And then so we got married June 14th, 1997. June 25th, 1998, our first kid is born. 4 months later, my wife comes to me, she's like, "Hey, surprise, I'm pregnant again." And I was like, oh. I didn't have my money to get back to school, and it was the 2 of us. And then it was the 3 of us. I didn't. And now 4? Like, I can't afford this. And I just lived with this constant sense of, I'm not going to go into ministry. I have failed. I'm 21 years old, and I've missed the entire purpose of my life. And anyway, I did pulpit supply while I was doing my apprenticeship. And there was this church that they didn't have a pastor, so I just went and preached for them, just till they got a pastor. And then they kept asking me back. And at 22 years old, they're like, "Why don't you just come be our senior pastor?" I was like, "I'm 22 years old. I haven't finished college." They're like, "Yeah, we don't care." And I was like, "Hey, if you guys are dumb enough to hire me, I'm dumb enough to come, kind of thing. And so I went. My first church was in Fergus Falls, Minnesota. But my wife gave me something. This is all building up to this here. Like, I was certain that I'd missed the will of God for my life. I was certain of it. And then all of a sudden, I'm a pastor. And my wife got me this little boat thingy. It's like this brass boat sculpture thing. I don't know what you call it, but about that big. And on it is a quote that says, "The man who walks with God always gets to his destination." Isn't that good? Let me say it again. The man who walks with God always gets to his destination. You will not walk with God each day and get to the end of your life and say, "I missed it." You won't. Walk with him today. Walk with him, right? All right. So now, I want you to take your Bibles, go Proverbs chapter 3. Proverbs chapter 3. We're talking about finding the will of God. Anybody got any guesses which verses of Proverbs 3 we're pulling out? Yeah. We're going to read this, and then we're going to jump on an article that is the best example of applying Proverbs 3, 5, and 6 that I've ever seen. Somebody read it or somebody quote it to us. Oh, if you got any good Awana kids in here, you probably got this one memorized.
Is this the trust in the Lord one?
Yes, it is.
Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your understanding, in all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your path.
And he'll make straight your path, right? Trust in the Lord. Don't lean on yourself, right? Acknowledge him. He'll make your path straight. You want to find the will of God? There it is, Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to take an article that, do you guys know who George Mueller is? You ever heard of him? You guys heard of him? What did he do? You know?
Yeah, he went and did orphanages in, was it London or England?
England, yep.
Yeah.
Bristol, England, yep.
And he never asked for a dime his whole ministry.
Yeah, he was known for his faith. That was one of the things he was known for. He wrote this article about finding the will of God. Every time I'm facing an important decision in my life, I break this thing out again. I've been doing this since the 90s, which wasn't that long ago. Here you
My whole life ago.
go. Right, you guys weren't born yet. It still wasn't that long ago. Time changes, I'll just tell you that as you age. But, okay, this has nothing to do with the lesson, but I was playing pickleball. So I got these college students that I'm training all this stuff. And we all love pickleball. And me and my buddy Herbie, who's also in his 40s, we were playing against Teddy and Christian, who are both, actually, Teddy's a college athlete. Teddy he's a tennis coach. These guys are good. They're pretty good. And they're fit, And Herbie and I are murdering them on the court. Just murdering them. It wasn't even close. Beat them 3 games in a row. And I just because I thought it was funny, I was like, "Hey, do you guys remember that Herbie and I are both in our 40s?" Anyway, that's the point. Teddy's like, "Yeah, but I hear 50s when you hit your prime." So I said, I have a 20-year-old telling me I haven't hit my prime yet. So in case you're wondering. There, so anyway, where was it going? I have no idea how I got there. Oh, time changes your relationship. Okay. George Mueller on finding the will of God. So here's what I want to do. I want to work through this, and we're going to dialogue over this. I want to take it point by point. And this is a process that I go through assessing it. So as you're looking at your life, and I told you, like, this is my niche right here. Here, and you're looking at, should be here, or here. If you do this process, I think you'll find it blesses you, or it helps me anyway. Whether it helps you or not, I don't know, but it helps me. Let's go, somebody read number 1. Somebody from the center section. Read number 1 for us. Do you have it? Do you have the article? Did it get to you? Do we have an extra one to get to? Oh, yeah, you got it. Okay.
I seek at the beginning to get my heart into such a state that it has no will of its own in regard to a given matter. 9/10 of the trouble with people is just here. 9/10 of the difficulties are overcome when our hearts are ready to do the Lord's will. Whatever it may be, when one is truly in the state, it is usually but a little way to the knowledge of what his will is.
Okay. Stop there. Thank you. All right, here's my first question. Why? Get your heart into such a state that it has no will of its own in regard to a given matter. Right? Do we need to talk about that first before we can talk about why? Maybe we do. What does it mean to get your heart into such a state that you have no will of its own in regard to a given matter? What does that mean?
You're not influencing the decision, you're letting God lead it.
Okay, you're not influenced, letting him lead? Sure.
You think it maybe looks looks like emotional stability.
Okay. Emotional stability, yeah. Yeah, there would have to be some stability there for sure.
You have to remove bias, basically, like your own bias from the situation.
Get rid of bias.
Lean not on your own understanding.
All right, that's what I'm saying. This is Proverbs 3, 5, and 6 right here. Lean not on your own understanding. That's right.
Trust.
Trust.
Regardless of where you think you don't want to go, trusting that even if you're sent there, that God will make your heart right for it.
Yeah, man, there's some faith in this, isn't there? That if like my heart wants to go here to the left, but God wants to take me to the right, I trust that he knows what he's talking about. There's trust in that. I heard one person, I thought it was George Mueller. I don't remember who I got it from. Is to get your heart into such a place where you'll look at, I'm pretty sure it's a book I read that George Mueller wrote, where you get your heart to such a place where if God tells me to go to the left or to the right, I'm good with either of them. Right? Okay. This is where, all right, okay. This is a lovely theory. This is a lovely theory. But when you bring it into practical application, if God tells me to marry this girl or move on from this girl, I'm good with either. It starts getting a little more like, hang on a second, hang on a second. If God tells me to go into this career or not, or go into that career, I'm good with either one. If God tells me to go to this school or not, move here, like, I'm good with either one. I'm okay with either outcome. Yeah.
How can you do that without becoming like apathetic?
Yeah, we're going to keep working through the process. We'll see if let's work through the process, see if that answers, because that's a great question. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Oh, no. Let's go into this right now. No. Let's go into this. Is there a difference between apathy and faith? What's the difference?
Being fully invested in whatever God provides, not based on what you want.
Yeah. Fully invested. That's a good way of putting that.
It's not sitting idly, pursuing something and being willing to let it go if that's what God tells you to do.
Oh, yeah. Faith is active, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah.
I'd say that apathy and faith, if not completely polar opposite, they're pretty much on different ends of the spectrum. I feel like faith is trusting God while you're fully trusting God, but not being apathetic about it, still doing what you can to please Him in that. I feel like in whatever area that your life is. Like when Moses stood still, God's like, well, just get going, even though there was a sea in front of him, There was still action required.
Maybe this would work as an illustration. We'll contextualize it in North Star. Andy Miller. I like that guy. He's pretty great, isn't he? Man, he's good. He's a cool guy. I get the impression from him that if you tuck in with him, he's going to give you a good time. And if he came like, oh, hey guys, Saturday, we're going to go do something awesome. Like there's Andy, we can do something awesome, but I want to go over here. There's that approach. Or then there's the other approach of like, that's great. I want to do something awesome on Saturday. All right, Andy, I'm in. And you hop in the van, you say, where are we going? Right? Like you care that the day is going to be an awesome day, but you're trusting that Andy knows a cool place to go do something fantastic. You don't need him to explain it to you. You don't need him to justify it to you. You're just like, all right, I'm in. What should I bring? Kind of thing. Right? And that's to me the picture here, I think. That's the picture I get. The difference between apathy is like, I don't really care what we do today. Or it's like, oh, I want to do something awesome. Oh, Andy's in charge? All right, we're doing something awesome today. I know we are. Kind of thing. And I think that's the way it is with God in your life. Right? It's not you don't care what happens with your life, but it's more of like, oh, God's in charge? Okay, this is going to be great. I'm in. Oh, we're going to the left? All right, I'll go to the left. That sounds cool. I'm in. Kind of thing. Does that answer your question? Does that satisfactorily speak to it?
I don't know. It makes sense, but I feel like it doesn't fully answer it.
Okay.
Let me see if I can help clarify the question.
Okay. All right. Okay, let's get to the next question. Why get your heart into such a state that it has no will of its own?
I know from personal experience that we think will is for us.
Mm.
My will fulfilled, it would not have been nearly as good as when I gave that up and let God's will be done.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
Restate the question again.
Why should we get our heart into such a state that we're okay if God says turn left or turn right? Okay. You won't go where he wants you to?
We want to love him more than our plans.
Ooh. Ooh, that's a good one. Oh, man. Tell you what, how many of our prayers would have been like not uttered if we were just like, I love you more than my ideas? I got a buddy who prays. This I heard it from him, my friend Travis. I never heard anybody pray this before. This is like last summer. We were praying together, and he said, it was me and him. And he's like, hey, God, between the three of us, you're the only one that can see around the corner. And he's like, and I love that. Between the three of us, so I don't know how many, we got 3, 6, 8, 10, 14, 18. There's 19 of us in here. So out of the 20 of us, God's the only one that can see around the corner. You want to know part of why you just release this left or right? Is because he's the only one that can see around the corner. You don't know what's coming next. Okay, I did this on the walk with a few of you guys. That wouldn't happen if. Who do I do that with? Who was it? Your group. Well, yeah, I remember doing it, Hagen and you. I think we just did it to you. This is a cool exercise sometime. I want to pick somebody at random. Riley, we're going with you, man. All right. Okay, what you do with this, you take something cool in your life, of just like something you're really happy is happening, and then you go back 5 steps. That wouldn't happen if. And we're going to try this, all right? You're at North Star Bible School. Okay. That wouldn't have happened if.
Brian hadn't invited me up.
That wouldn't have happened if.
If I hadn't met Brian,
That wouldn't have happened if.
if I didn't have a good group of Christian friends,
That wouldn't have happened if.
my parents hadn't been saved.
And that wouldn't have happened if. You might have a hard time answering that one.
If they hadn't wanted to do the will of God instead of living, my father anyways, living the sort of sinful life that he lives.
Okay. So was this before you were born? Okay. And how old are you?
I'm almost 19.
Almost 19. Did you just tell us you're 18 and a half?
Basically,
I think that's what he just said.
pretty much.
I think he's 18 and a half. Okay. All right. So you're 18. We'll go 19 years old. So 2 decades ago, give or take, at least two decades or more ago, somebody or something happened in Mr. Riley Dad's life that caused him to see the gospel in a certain way. And he becomes a follower of Jesus. If that doesn't happen, you're not at North Star. Now, here's a question. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, however many years ago it was, I have no idea. When that took place, whatever happened in Riley's dad's life, do you think God was thinking to himself, I got this young man that's coming to New York. I got to get him to Alaska in 2025. Do you think it was in God's mind? I think it's pretty fair to say that possibly, right? Possibly. Can we do one? I want to do one more. I want to do one more with this. Kendall, can I put you on the spot? All right. Okay. I haven't done this with you yet, have I? No. Okay. We'll just do the same thing. You're North Star Bible School. That wouldn't have happened if. Ooh. Oh, that's right. Tracy's got the Texas connection. I didn't think that. Okay. That wouldn't have happened if.
I didn't go to my Christian accounting school.
Okay. That wouldn't have happened if.
If I didn't get expelled from my public school.
want to hear, like all of a sudden I want to hear this story. No, you don't have to. You don't have to. You don't have to. How old were you? 16? Okay. Okay, now if we get into something you don't want to share with the group, just yell squirrel and we'll all get distracted. Okay, that wouldn't have happened if. You can keep it vague too, by the way.
I'm trying to. If I didn't go to that school in the first place,
Okay, that wouldn't have happened if.
I wasn't bored. I don't know.
You don't know? Okay. And we not all of these can get back 5 steps. We'll bottom it out there. All right. Okay. Let's take it back to the expulsion. And I don't want to know any details on it here, but 16-year-old Kendall, something was going on, and a choice was made. Now, here's my question. Do you think God, how old are you now? 19. Okay, so like, 19 or 19 and a half? Not yet. Yeah, I'm 48 and a half myself. So, do you think it's possible that 3 years ago, 4 years ago, when you're looking at all the stuff that's going on, that God was looking at that and saying, I'm getting ready to move this girl to Alaska, and I'm gonna cause a chain of events, and right now everything looks one way, but she's gonna be at a Bible. Come on, how many people at your school were thinking like, I bet you that girl's going to a Bible school, right? Yeah, including yourself. But here you are. And you're a great part of this school. And I mean, people are you're a blessing here. You are. I've really enjoyed you. And it's like, do you think 3 years ago, 4 years ago, God's like, all right, this story's not done yet. I'm gonna trigger some things, and she's gonna move to this other school. She doesn't know. You don't know Mark and Tracy Gunkel, some guy. They were running a fish camp. They were bringing people up to catch fish in Whale Pass, Alaska. And then it's like, oh, I'm going to bring them down to Austin, Texas, or whatever town you're in. But is it not reasonable to think that God was thinking along those lines? My understanding of him, and I'm not going to sit here and act like I have the mind of God perfectly dialed in. I certainly don't. My understanding of him was that it's absolutely what he was doing. He wasn't looking like, oh, Kendall, my goodness. It was like, just wait till you see what comes next, girl. Right? You want to know why you get to that point of where you just palms down your life, release it. And I'm like, God, if you want me to go left or you go right, it's cool. You do it because this is how he writes stories. This is how he writes stories. And if we were to go around and do that same thing with every single person in this room, how did you wind up here? Go back 5 steps. Here's what I'm confident of. Some people, your story is like the golden child story, and everything in your life was perfect and beautiful, and this is like the culminating moment of it. And like, no, I'm in this beautiful forest in Alaska with these cool people. Others of you, I'm 100% certain we got people in here. The only way you got here was through pain. There was a really painful part of your story that was a necessary, hang on. There was a really part of there was a really painful part of your story that became an integral way of getting you to this place. Right? Because this is our God. And I want this crystal clear. When you talk about finding the will of God with your life, I want you to know your life is in the hands of somebody who writes stories brilliantly. And there should not be, if we're doing this well, if we understand him well, you should not look at your life with fear and dread of like, I hope I don't screw this up. You should look at it with expectancy, because look at how great your God is, and look at the way he writes stories. Yeah. And okay, guys, now let's just think, we put Riley and Kendall on the spot, which I'm sure they both very much appreciated. Let's write their story. Let's write their story out. We're not going to do this, but like if we did, let's write their story out 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 30 years from now, 50 years from now, however long they last. He's going to have to make better, right? He might have to make better decisions with explosives if he's going to go super far. But okay, what's God going to do with these two? 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 40 years from now. Can we look? Don't you think we're going to get to the end of their life Like if we, if we get the chance to do this, like we'll be at the end of Kendall's life and we'll look back and like, wow, look at all the cool things God did with her, through her, for her, to her, by her. Pick your favorite preposition. Right? Don't you think we're going to do that with Riley too, right? Like, don't you think? I think we will. I think we will. Maybe we don't. I think we will. I'm putting my money on that one. Kendall probably. Some people's lives are meant to serve as examples of what not to do too. That's, they're useful too. No, Riley, we don't think you're going to be that. But like, what about your story? Are we going to get to the end of your life and look back and like, although I have joked a lot of times, the title of my autobiography is going to be, He Meant Well. Kind of thing. Kind of thing. Like, are we going to look at the end of your life, get to the end of your life, and like, that was a dumpster fire? God did nothing with him. God did nothing through her. Or do we get to the end of your life and it's like, God was faithful. He did some really cool things there. My money's on we're going to say God was faithful and he did some really cool things there. Right? And so why do we get to the place where we say, I don't, like if you want me to go to the left or the right, I'm okay with it. We get to that place because we know, this is Paul's verse. Paul in one of the epistles. I know whom I have believed. You guys know this one? And I am persuaded that he is what?
Able.
He's able to do what?
To keep that which he committed.
Yeah. To keep that which I've committed to him. Until when? Anybody? Until that day. What day? When he returns. At the end. Right? So you want to find the will of God for your life. Here it is. Like, commit yourself to him. And just, God, Jesus, whatever you want. Left or right, I'm in. I got no agenda here. I'll trust you. I'm hopping in the van like I would with Andy saying we're going to have a great time this day. Jesus is like, come on, hop in the van. I got a great life for you. So I go, all right, where are we going? I'll tell you along the way. Which, by the way, that's how Jesus usually works. Take up your cross and follow me, right? Just come on, hop in the van. If you came with like, what about this and what about this? Jesus, I need this explained, this explained. If he'll explain it to you, you're the first person I've met that he's explained it to. I've never seen him explain anybody's life story to him in advance. He certainly hasn't with me. I'm certain. He told me none of this. None of this. The best parts, the worst parts. He told me none of it. He's just like, come on, just get in the van, man. Quit asking all your questions. Just get in the van. Right?
You sound like getting kidnapped.
Get kidnapped. He had candy, too, So, he had candy. Okay, had candy. All right. Have you guys done this spiritual discipline? Palms down, palms up. I know you guys do spiritual disciplines here. All right, this is one. I was debating on having you do this. I'm going to show it to you. Maybe we will do it. I don't know. We'll see. All right, so here's what it's a physical thing. I think sometimes praying in different physical positions is helpful for focusing. I think I made that comment. Did you guys see Mother Teresa last night? She's like prostrate on the floor, laying on her stomach, arms up above her head, face to the ground. Have you ever prayed? Anybody here prayed that way before? You've done it. Pretty cool, isn't it? Yeah. It's just something about physical positioning sometimes that just communicates something to our own minds and hearts. And when you're prostrate before God, for me, when I'm in that position, it's like I'm a worshiper. I'm recognizing he's so much bigger than me. But anyway, this is another. It's palms down, palms up. I got this from, what's the guy's? I can't remember the guy's. Richard Foster here. But okay, so what you do is I like to, actually I start with my palms open when I do it, and I picture myself grabbing onto something I care about. This is a great one for you to have something that you're really stressed about. All right? And so, like there was a long time for me, like one of the worst things I've ever gone through in my life was the sickness that my youngest son had. It ripped my heart apart. It just ripped me to pieces. And so I had to do this prayer about 8 trillion times in the process of all of that. He's so much better now. Man, those were some long, long years, though. But so you take something you care about. For me, it was my son. You can have your own thing. Maybe it's money. Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's a dating thing. Maybe it's your parents. Maybe it's, I don't know, whatever's going on in your life, but your thing. And you picture yourself grabbing that. And then I like to close my eyes while I'm doing it. I picture myself holding on to it, and I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about the thing that I love that's just so precious to me. And then this is a key part of the whole thing. You open your hands. And you're just saying, all right, God, here's my son. And you go palm down because you can't grab it. Right? You can't hold on to something like this. You know, you got something in your palm, you open your palm, it does the same thing every time. Law of gravity, right? Right? It just drops. And you go palms down, and it's just your complete surrender. And then here's and this is another cool part. And by the way, no, I'm jumping on myself. If you do this prayer, if you do this, and I think you should do this, think of something that is really precious to you. You may not be able to, you may find, this is me at least, you may find you could not physically open your hands. Like there were several times I was doing it. My son was a huge part. It was a massive one for me. And there were so many times I went to him and just like, because I knew as soon as I let go of as soon as I opened my hands, that was my way of saying, God, I recognize I don't have control here. And the worst feeling in the world to me is the feeling of powerlessness. I hate feeling powerless. I don't mind doing hard things. I like hard things. I'm not somebody who likes to sit around and watch movies and play video games and just chill out. Like, give me something hard to do. I'm a guy, I work 12 to 18 hours a day. I like it. I like doing hard things. And to just admit, like, because then all of a sudden it's like, but God, what if you don't? What if you don't heal him? You know, what if this doesn't go the way? Because I know how this is supposed to go. What if you don't do what I know is supposed to happen? Right? And but then it just reached that point. It's like, but Jeff, come on now. Come on now. Who's between the two of you? Who can see around the corner? Right? And it's like, all right, God, here's my son. And I trust his future and his life and his well-being to you. And palms down. And by the way, if you do that and you can't, it's okay. Put a pen in it, come back the next day. And you can't let go of it for weeks, that's okay. It's okay. God's not like, man, you screwed that up. What's the matter with you? He's like, oh, I get it. It's hard to let go of things, but you keep showing up. Eventually let go. And the next part of it, and this is a cool part. Some of you struggle with this. Some of you guys live with a sense of guilt. You don't have to admit that one out loud necessarily. Feel like you're constantly disappointing them. You're going to have a hard time with this one. You're going to have a hard time with this. And that's why you got to do it. You palms up it. Because as soon as you release it, then you turn your palms over, and it's just your way of saying, oh, God, whatever you have for me, I just accept your blessings. Have you ever been around somebody from the Middle East who's praying? Have you ever seen it? We pray like this, right? We're taught to pray with our hands folded. They pray like this. You know why they pray like that?
It's a receiving position, I think.
It's a receiving position. It's like, God, will you bless me? And so I simultaneously release to you the care of my son, while at the same time I put my hands out expectant that you're the kind of God who blesses. Isn't this what Jesus taught us about prayer? Who of you would ask, your son would ask you for a loaf of bread and you'd give him a stone, wasn't it? Or would ask you for I'm going to ruin the passage right now. Give a fish and give him a snake, right? It's like, and if you wouldn't give your kid a snake, which, by the way, little parenting advice, if you are the tech, don't give your kids snakes if they ask you for food. Just don't. Yeah, no, see, Jeremiah, this is why you're here. This is why you're here today.
We can eat the snake.
You want to be on a snake? You give him, right? Yeah. All right, we're not gonna do this one right here. We're not gonna do this one right here today because we're just not gonna do it. We should do it. We're not gonna. I want to challenge you in your prayer time in the coming days. Do this one, and if it's cool, leave it there. But if it's cool and you want to share it, shoot me off a message. Set palms down that one, Jeff. That was really great. And I'll high five you. That's the other thing you do with open palms. You can high five each other. But yeah. So that's what you palms down, palms up, and then you high five Jesus. That's the no, right? Okay. Bring us to bear on the question of what's finding God's will for your life. You reach the point where you say, God, I release it. And if you want me to be this, or you want me to go here, or you want me to do that, I trust you. I trust you. My palms are down. And then whoo, you flip them over because you're like, God, and I'm also confident that the life you have for me, it's going to be a great one. And I just accept whatever you want my life to be. I receive it. I receive it, right? And that's step one. You might be like, whoa, that took 40 minutes to get through step one. Did you catch that part there? He says 9/10 of the difficulties are overcome when our hearts are ready to do the Lord's will. If you can reach this point, it could take you 3 years to get to the point where you can palms down your life. Once you get there, though, we could talk in like hours or days before you can finish the rest of this. It doesn't have to take you years, but it's like it's the first step, that just emptying your will. It takes a lot. But once you get that down, you know how it is, a lot of things in life. It's like it's hard to figure out how to do it at first, but then once you figure it out, it's all like, oh, I know how to do this now. And then the rest of it just kind of falls together pretty quickly here. All right, we got a little more time for a break. Let's go number 2. Somebody from the, what do we say, this is north? East side. Somebody from the east side. Read number 2. This east side. No, you guys are west side, best side. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. All right, somebody from the east side. Read number 2.
Having done this, I do not leave the result to feeling or simple impression. If I do so, I make myself liable to great delusion.
All right, what do you think he's talking about when he's saying, I do not leave the result of feeling or simple impression? What do you think?
Some people mistake their feelings or impressions as God's voice, which it's not. And sometimes when we follow our heart, which the heart is deceitful, it can lead us to some scary places. It's not always the best thing to follow.
All right, you'll figure this one out if you haven't figured it out yet. It's amazing how often God sounds exactly like you. It's amazing. You listen to other people, it's like, God sure sounds an awful lot like Jeff Pernsteiner. It's like, because what we like to do is we like to think that our feelings in that moment are the voice of God. And all he's saying is like, it's not that you don't ever factor in your feelings. You'll get to that. But remember that it's your feelings. It's not the voice of God. They're not the same thing, right? Okay, if we were to start a list, if we were right at the top of a page from your life, and the heading read, it sounded like a good idea at the time. Right? And just start, right? And it just, like, we've got more than one item on that list, don't we? It sounded like a good idea at the time. And just know when it comes to sussing out the will of God for your life, you're going to have, it'll be tempting to think that your feelings are God's voice. And that's what I like about this process of like, okay, I'm emptying myself. And then what comes next, and we'll do this after break, what comes next after this is where you start to be able to give me something more, something more substantial than how Jeff happens to be feeling in this particular moment. All right, break time. Let's call it good. We'll come back to the rest of it after that.
It's Rochelle's birthday today.
Oh, is it really? Happy birthday. She is not anything and a half.
Halfway to 50.
Halfway to 50.
I made the joke right.
There should be like a school bell or something that alarms. Or better than that, somebody yelling over a loudspeaker. What's that from? Oh, I thought you were quoting something. Oh. When you said James got it, I thought maybe you were quoting something.
I was quoting the magic conch that time. The magic conch shell.
Butterfingers.
Is that a birthday Butterfinger? The best kind.
When you're using the same letter but they're different words.
Alliteration.
Birthday.
Birthday. All right. Were you guys all here to see the proper way to open high shoes?
No, but I love high shoes.
Okay. We need to do this to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the birth of the greatest RA in the history of female RAs at North Star. Can you guys name one that's ever done better than her?
Nobody. I can't.
No. There. Okay. So what you do, the proper way to open a high shoe is you squeeze it. Don't squeeze it so hard it pops. You squeeze it enough to get all the air to one side, and then where there's that line, you karate chop it. And it's really cool when it works, and it's anticlimactic when it doesn't. But okay, I'm going to try. Ah, it didn't work. It didn't work.
That one's broken, kind of.
Part of it, there's something with the air in Alaska. They're not very inflated. Usually they're puffier. Could be.
It's about being close to sea level. If you're in Denver with high shoes,
Yeah.
you might actually have to take cover.
Okay. Oh, man. Come on. Give me a good one. That's what we're doing while the rest of the kids are coming back. Okay, here we go. This is a good one. All right, we're going to see if this works. Okay, yeah, you. I hit Hagen. And Hagen, you touched that last. I was experimenting with this yesterday. This one doesn't have much air in it at all. Yesterday, I changed the motion, first time ever, where I started going up. And that was... Oh, is everybody here? I was just killing time. No, we're waiting for Dan. No, he's here.
I was there.
Okay, going up. That one amused me if it works. Oh, it doesn't work. Anyway, there you go. You got something to do. So pass them around, but maybe don't open them this way during class. Nathan, there's some on the back. Pass those around too. Those are the classic flavors. These are high chew desserts. Anyway, eat this and think about the greatest female RA in North Star history. Yeah, happy birthday. All right, we left off at number 2. We're going to go until 10:50. Then that gives me 5 minutes to get the thing set up and everybody back here at 10:57. I hate the sound of people eating. I cannot imagine how horrid it would be somebody eating with a microphone on.
Don't they have something like that, like, it's called NSR or?
Oh, yes. AMSR, I think it is.
There we go, yeah.
Yes. Oh, those, I can't do those. I cannot do those. Okay, we left off at number 3, yeah.
So, like how we have the daily delights, we can have the daily detests, things that are just terribly unpleasant.
Terribly.
I was gonna bring up that airport toilet scares me every time I flush it, but
Okay, so that'll be number 2.
No. That has a different vibe to it altogether. We were also, somebody were talking this morning to come up with a book of awkward moments. That'd be another good one. But, you know, there'd be some doozies there. But one of them was, who are we talking about? Where, like, you're in a group of people and somebody waves at you and you wave back, but then you realize they were waving to the person behind you. Those kinds of moments, yeah.
When you respond to somebody's question, they say, I wasn't talking to you.
I wasn't talking to you. Yep.
Or when you're trying to do that, but then you find out they're on the phone.
Yeah, on the phone. Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah.
Hi, and you're like, hi, and then they're like,
No.
You realize it just wasn't funny.
It just wasn't funny. Here we go. All right, let's go number 3. All right, west side, best side. Somebody from the west side, read number 3 for us.
I seek the will of the Spirit of God through, or in connection with, the Word of God. The Spirit of the Word must be combined. If I look to the Spirit alone without the Word, I lay myself open to great delusions also. If the Holy Ghost guides us all, he will do it according to the Scriptures, and never contrary to them.
Okay. You get the gist of this? So you want to know the will of God, you keep your Bible open. And you look in that. All right, so here's my first question. Why? We'll get into some practicals on this, but why?
because God's will will never be contrary to his word.
Oh, his will never be contrary to his word. That's good.
I mean, we know that it's 100% true.
His word's 100% true, right? Not going to lead you down the wrong path. That's a good one. Some other ones come to mind for me. It's authoritative. It's between the two of us. He's the only one that can see around the corner. He wrote the Bible, not me. So it's written by somebody who can see around corners. Yeah. Okay. Next question. What does that look like? Right? Because, like, it's not like you're going to open up, like, oh, Book of Proverbs. Oh, I should go work for this company. You know, it's not like it says, right? Yeah, you're not going to see that. So how on earth is the Bible going to help you figure out something like, okay, let's go, want to do a practical one? Let's do a practical one. Let's say you've got a potential spouse you're wondering about. Should I marry this person or should I not? Now, the Bible's not going to tell you, hey, Jeff, you should marry Kim. Like, it's not going to tell me, it didn't tell me that. It's not going to state their name or who you should or shouldn't marry. How on earth could you use the Bible as you to assess the will of God, whether or not you should marry that person? Yeah.
I've been reading a book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and the second habit is beginning with the end in mind. The point of it is that you know your mission statement, and your mission statement is based on principles. And if you have a solid mission statement, it applies to every action you have in life. And your principles are what you build your mission statement on, and your Bible will build your principles. So it's not about do I marry them or not? It's about what is my purpose in life, and does this help me pursue my purpose in life?
Man. Yeah, that's solid gold right there. That's all. Okay, question. Before you, like, everybody in here's not married, right? No married people. Yeah. That sun is taking me for a ride. No, it's it. Well, the sun thinks so too. It's shining on you. These guys aren't in the sun. You guys are. Yeah. Oh, okay. Here's what. Have you done this yet? If you have not done this yet, this is like mandatory homework for life, not for the class. Write down the list of the non-negotiable qualities that you have in a spouse. And do it without a person in mind. Like, oh, I've got a crush on this person, and then you just describe them.
It's wonderful how they fit so well.
Right? It's like you, right? My youth pastor made us do this every year for 6 years. And I was just like, we've done this so many times. Did it everything. You know what I know the cool thing is? My first date with my wife, it was like, oh my word. Like, you're the girl that I've been writing the list down on for 6 years. Like, I recognized her immediately because of that dumb list. So make your own dumb list. Write down a bunch of non-negotiables. Non-negotiables. So you recognize him or her when you see them. There. So, okay. How else is the Bible gonna speak to this? How else does the Bible use it? Okay, keep going with the spouse idea. Yeah.
It like develops parameters in which it says you're not supposed to marry an unbeliever, right? It also says that gives you an idea of like Proverbs saying who can find a virtuous woman, and he like shows her qualities. So this is a good, like these are good traits to have, which doesn't make them non-negotiable, but it shows you a woman of it shows you an outline of good traits to find in a woman.
Yeah.
But the non-negotiables would be that she loves God with all her heart, or at least, well, I don't know if anybody does that like perfectly, but that she loves God to the best of her ability.
Characteristic of her life is that she loves the Lord. Yeah.
And then
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's good. Somebody, I thought this was a really good idea. I just heard a couple years ago when it was a girl talking about how she was told by her youth pastor, if there's a boy that she's interested in, go through 1 Corinthians 13, the love passage, and just go through and say, can you substitute their name for love? So when it says love is patient, love is kind, does not seek its own, it keeps no record of wrongs, like all the things in there, put their name in there, Jeff is patient, Jeff is kind, just like my wife should be able to read through 1 Corinthians 13 and say, that's a pretty decent description of who Jeff Pernsteiner is, And so for you with your spouse, yeah, Cohen, you're not going to object to that, are you? Oh, okay.
There's another verse that somebody brought up, good, I guess, checklist sort of. I think it's 1 Timothy 4.
Qualifications of an elder?
No, wait, that might not be right, but it's set example for the believers in their speech, conduct, love, faith, and purity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where and this is what I'm talking about. The Bible speaks. The Bible will never tell you marry this person, don't marry this person. But the Bible will tell you here's the kind of people that we should be, and you can use that to suss out whether or not this person is this is a mature follower of Christ. But if you're reading through it, it's like the guy doesn't have any emotional regulation. When he's upset, like his world falls apart, or the people around them, their world falls apart. It's like, well, that's not. Like the Bible talks about what mature people look like. That's not it. So they're not your spouse. They're not. And maybe you're like, but I love them so much. It's like, I know you love them. I know you do. I believe you. So break up with him. And then in a couple, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, when he's gone through the hard work of getting control of his emotions, maybe think about going out for dinner with him. But don't just marry him because you love him. Love is an important part of marriage, but it's the dumbest thing in the world to do if all you do is just love him, but you have no sense of whether or not his life, his characteristics are consistent with the kind of person that God wants a husband to be. Here, and they're on that one there. So anyway, and when it comes seeking out jobs, do I go here? Do I not go there? The Bible isn't going to tell you specific things about that specific decision, but there will be guiding principles that you live your life by that you're going to be able to measure. Is this a part of, does this fit in to the narrative that I'm understanding the Bible saying this is the kind of life God wants me to live? And let those speak to it, sort of thing here. And this is better than what we do. Oh man, I had this friend. I love this man to death. We were best friends in high school. He actually just called me yesterday. We still talk a lot. We got multiple decades together. I just love this man. He was so dumb with stuff he wanted a girlfriend so bad, and we're sitting in church one day, and it's me and him, and we had this girl in our youth group. Her name was Annie, and she was a redhead, and he was really, he's a redhead. He just always had a thing for redheads, and he was telling me after church, he's just like, Jeff, I know that we're supposed to be together. I'm like, really? He's like, God told me during church today. I'm like, okay. He's like, what happened? And he's like, well, we're sitting next to each other. And my youth group would always sit together, we always sat as a group. And she was sitting next to him. He's like, I noticed when I would lean forward, she would lean forward. And when I crossed my arms, she crossed her arms. And so I just prayed, like, God, if I'm supposed to date Annie, would you have her do the next thing that I do? And he said, so I crossed my legs. And guess what Annie did? She crossed her legs too. Apparently, God didn't tell Annie she was supposed to date my friend. Because, right? But he was a great guy. She would have been lucky to have him. I will tell you, he's a fantastic guy. But he wound up marrying a different redhead. But he's maybe he just misread the message. If she crosses her legs with you, you're going to marry a redhead. Maybe that was the. Maybe that was, yeah. I say this to say, when you're trying to figure out God's will for your life, base it off a little bit something more substantial than whether or not they cross the legs at the same time you do. It's right. We are people of the book. We make our decisions with this thing open, right? And until this thing speaks to us, we realize that our ideas are just that, our ideas. And it doesn't mean we don't have them, but it means like we remember there are ideas. And when you go to make big decisions, important decisions in life, like who you marry, do it with the book open, right? Okay. Number 3B. This one's from Jeff Pernsteiner, not from George Mueller. The sage of Lewiston, Idaho is what some people have called him. I've heard that anyway. But they say that in Santa, Idaho too? Yeah. Okay. Well, okay. I'm touched. All right. I don't have a good rhyme for central. Middle side. Fiddle side. All right. The center. Somebody read 3B. Okay. I'm not expecting you guys to remember the verses Luke read to us this morning, but he actually read the verse that I was going to use here. Proverbs 15. Plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors they succeed. All right. Let me ask you this. Why seek out, or no. Why does God give us people to serve as counselors in our lives? Because you're what?
Kind of dumb.
You're kind of dumb. Okay.
It kind of reminds me in First Kings. There's this new king who he went to the elders and he was like, the people of Israel was all like, because Solomon, this is Solomon's son, had put a heavy burden on them for like taxes and stuff, and then the elders said, lower the taxes. But then he went to the younger people of his generation and escalated tremendously, and he decided either follow his peers or the elder he chose his peers. And then he went down to, instead of 12 tribes, he went down to 1 tribe.
Right. Yeah. Yep. He got the dumb counselors. Yeah, what do you think?
I kind of want to call back to your example from the previous week. Everything is so much. We are really good at convincing ourselves that something is actually a thing.
Oh.
Like one kid you were talking about is like, oh, this is God told me this. Obviously, that's what that means. But if he had gone to like any of his friends, he'd be like, no. It's so dumb.
Yeah. Right. Oh, he didn't come to me for counsel. He came to me to tell me this is God's will for his life. Those are different things. Yeah.
Another example is that when you're going like this, you can't see what you're reading. But when someone is a little bit further away, they can see a little more clearly what's going on. And that's,
Yeah. Yeah. There's protection in the counsel of others.
Blinded by your emotions. They're separate.
Yeah. Have you guys figured out yet that your perspective is limited?
No, I'm all knowing.
Yeah. Say, James, I hate to burst your bubble. If anybody in here wasn't limited, it'd be you. But even you, James, even you have a limited perspective.
Wow.
There you go.
I know he said that there was something that was too much.
He's gone. All right, well, it was bound to happen eventually. Yeah. It's not that your perspective isn't valid. It's just that your perspective is that, yours. And you're not all-knowing. I'm not all-knowing. There's things that we can't see. And that's the way life, like the way life is supposed to go, is that we have people that we love and trust that are next to us. They're like, hey, I can see this much. And they're like, oh, that's cool. I can see this part of it. Yeah. Oh, man, look at the time. Holy smokes. All right, we got 5 more minutes. We got 5 more minutes. Here, I want to keep going to this. Yeah. See, he took my account. I told you, time. I don't pay attention. I pay you in high shoes. There you go. Okay, are you ready for this one? Ready for this? There's like 5% of the people in the world that I tell this to that think that there's wisdom in this. The other 95, they just ignore it. Some of them think it's stupid. I'm telling you this, kids, I've been doing marriage counseling for longer than you've been alive. I'm going to go ahead and go with my credentials on this one, on that. I have sat in the room with so many couples on this. Let me say this. If you get serious with somebody, no, let me put it in a positive way. If you want to do this well, go to the people around you that you love and trust, who you know will speak truth to you, and say to them, I'm thinking about getting serious with this girl or with this guy, but before I get in deep, I'd like your perspective. I have never known anybody who took that counsel that got the wrong spouse. Ever. But you know how many people, oh man, I want to throat punch them. I just do. This brings out the violence in me. It's like, well, why can't they just accept, like, I get to choose who I love, and why can't you just accept them? It's like, oh my word. Well, if you actually pick somebody decent, it makes this a whole lot easier. It just, oh man. It's like the arrogance of that statement. That arrogance of it. It's like, yes, you do get to pick who you marry. You do get to pick who you love. We're not picking for you. We're just simply saying, no, you should be saying, I see things, but I don't see everything. And you're a friend I trust. My mom loves me. She looks out for me. My dad, maybe you got grandparents. Maybe you got, I don't know who it is. Parents aren't always the ones you should ask, by the way. Some of you got great parents, you should be asking them. Some of you got parents who are like, maybe not, maybe not so much kind of thing there. But you talk to them. Yeah, what do you got?
That just reminded me of a friend we had. I'm not saying he's a bad guy. He's a sweetheart. But at the time, no one really thought it was a good idea. And she knew that. And we were in the car ride. And so we were all riding together. And she said, so I'm thinking of marrying what's his name. All right, what's your guys' thoughts? Nothing negative. Dead silent.
I remember this.
What's your thoughts? Nothing negative. So, in other words, what she wanted you to say was, oh, you guys are so cute together.
Yeah. She got crickets instead.
Yeah.
Which are an amazing insect, but
I can tell you, I had 2 girls in my group. It was one group I was working with. One of them, and this is a service I offer to everyone, and it's just one of like, hey, if you want, I've gotten pretty good at this. I can usually tell whether a guy's worth anything or not in the first 5 minutes of sitting down with him. I can usually figure out within the first 10 whether or not that's somebody you should be with. I'm almost never wrong on it, and I just jokingly offer this as a free service to my group. And there's 2 girls in there. They're getting ready to date at the same time. One girl is like, Jeff, you should just support who I date. And the other girl was like, okay, he's driving to Lewiston next week. And we were all going. I was going to this baseball game. She's like, I'm going to bring him to the baseball game, and I'm going to make him sit by you for the game. You tell me about him afterwards. I was like, deal. And it's not that I know everything about relationships, but I can tell you right that just from that alone, those 2 girls, The one girl was not interested in counsel. She was interested in how she felt. The other girl she's interested in making sure she got the choice right, which tells me that the girl one didn't put a lot of thought into who she was dating. The girl two put a lot of thought into who she was dating. Guess what happened with those two girls?
Both lived happily ever after.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice? The first girl, who, by the way, I don't have any trouble at all going to somebody and saying, I'm sorry, I don't think you should be in this relationship. It makes me super popular with people. But I'm sorry, I don't think you should be in this relationship. And I always do it out of love. I don't say it as bluntly as I'm doing right now. I try to be very gentle and diplomatic. She got so mad at me for saying that to her. The other girl said, thank you. The first girl, 6 months later, nope, hang on, time frame. June to October, 4 months later, the police got involved. The second girl, she's getting ready to marry him. And everybody's celebrating. I'm just telling you, it's like the ones that just won't take counsel, it's because they don't, I want to phrase that. The ones that won't take counsel, I've learned that there's just a perspective that they're just not willing to consider. And that impacts the quality of person they pick. Here. And so this is where, as you guys are looking at dating, and I got to wrap this up right now. I got 5 minutes to get the computer set up and just stop pontificating. But as you guys are looking to date, my advice to you, before you get deep, don't wait until you're ready to marry them. Before you get deep, look around at people you love and trust. Don't take the people you don't like. You don't have to ask everybody. The people you love and trust, and say, here's this guy. Are you seeing anything I'm not seeing? Here's this girl. What do you think of her character? And just ask. And if they give you counsel that you don't like, you don't have to take it. You can still date the person. Because the people we talk to, they don't have perfect knowledge either. I've been wrong on people before. I have. Doesn't happen very often, but I have been, kind of thing. Although I tell you this, little Jeff's track record, I've never said somebody was a bad person and turned out I was wrong. I have looked at a couple guys that I think that's a good guy and turned out I was wrong. I have had that happen. I'm rambling now. But anyway, the point of this whole thing is to just seek out wise counsel. On this one here. So, okay. All right, I got to shut up. I got to get going on the video thing. Take a quick break. Come down off of their high or whatever's going on there. But yeah, no, it's there. And addiction, yeah, anyway, yeah, it's there a little bit. All right. We got just under an hour. I want to finish going over the will of God thing here on this, and then hopefully get to the next thing on this here. Okay, we left off with whatever number that was, 3B, about asking counsel on this one here. Can I just tell you how I'm applying this in my life right now? And you guys can, it's not as a standard for you. I hate it when speakers do that. It's like, well, this is what I'm doing. Look at how righteous I am. I'm wise, so here's the wise things that this wise person does, and you'll be wise to do the same. I hate it when people do that, and I do it sometimes too, but I'm not offering this up as the standard. I'm just offering up as here's how I'm living this one out. When it comes to seeking God's will for your life, I think when the Scripture tells us there's wisdom in the counsel of others, I think He meant it. So for me, currently right now, I'm revamping my entire financial philosophy. I've spent the last 2.5 years studying it a lot. I read a thing a while back. It said if you want to understand the subject, read 20 books on it. And after 20 books, you should have a pretty good feel for what that particular subject is. And so I'm like, okay, I've been financially illiterate my entire life. I just haven't cared. I haven't thought about it. Been broke a lot. It's probably time I should think about that. So I read 20 books I've ever done in my life. And out of those 20 books, I came up with a financial philosophy for myself. I've never had one of those before. I have a wall in my house. My son, he named the room. My oldest son's former bedroom, but he didn't live with us anymore. So I just cleared everything out of the room, and then I just put this whole display on the wall of my entire financial philosophy laid out on the wall. And then I went to 3 friends who I trust. 2 of them are geniuses with money. And then the other one, he's pretty decent with money. But all three of these are men that I love and trust who know who I am and what I'm about. And I brought him over to the house. I sat him down in the room, and I just walked him through it. Here's my financial philosophy. Oh, my son now is no longer Alex's room. It used to be Alex's room. Now it's the financial room. That was Silas renamed it. He didn't know he renamed it. He's like, so you going down to the financial room again? And he does this thing, and this is actually how I know I'm winning as a dad. He's like, oh, are you talking about money again? That's how I know I'm doing good. So he did not say it with affection when he called it the financial room, but that's what it's called now, the financial room. And so I sat Travis, Willie, and John down in the room, and I said, here's what I'm looking at doing with my money. What are you guys seeing? And I walked them through all my plans with assets and investments and spending and income and all that, just giving all that, walked it through it with the idea that I want you guys to speak into my life to A, make sure I'm not making foolish choices with money, and B, to make sure I'm not getting off my game. God didn't put me on this earth to be wealthy. I don't care about getting wealthy. I don't care about that at all. But money, turns out, is connected to basically everything you do in life. And it's good if you got a handle on it rather than it having a handle on you, kind of thing. So that was how I did that there. The other thing I'm doing right now, I'm revamping my entire ministry. I've never gone through an overhaul in my ministry like this before. This is the biggest shift I've ever made in my entire life. I'm calling 2026. I've got 2 themes this year. I gave you the first one, the year of no stress, or the year of fear not. And the second one is the year of shooting my shot. I've been doing things for a long time now, and I've just been letting them percolate in my head forever. And it's like, I'm done thinking. It's time to get up and get going. I'm not a person that likes to sit around a whole lot. I like to move. I like to make things happen. And so this is the year I'm putting those things into place. But it's the most aggressive I've ever been with ministry. And so I want counsel on it. And so I've already both these I started with my wife, by the way. My wife and I have gone over it. And then now when I get home, I've already got 3 guys lined up. 4 guys lined up. Actually, those same guys, Travis, Willie, John. But then I'm also bringing my buddy Herbie in. And then I'll bring a few others in too. But I'm going to sit them down. I actually have a table that I've got all this laid out on. And I'm like, all right, guys, here's what I'm looking at. What am I missing? Or where am I getting off track? Because there's wisdom in the counsel of many. And from this, I think that's part of how God's going to communicate his will to my life. Have you guys, and it's okay if you haven't done this yet, have any of you guys done that? Come up with, like, where you're talking about dating, career, financial philosophy, general direction of your life, where you've laid it out for somebody? You've done it? Tell me, can you mind telling us about it? Either of you guys? You're both shaking your head. Gideon.
I mean, like, we've talked about, like, I have counselors of when I find a girl I'm interested in, that I take that to them. Okay. All right. Do you mind me asking, like, the relationships with the people that you were talking, like, parents, friends, like? I have, like, they're all couples, but yeah, there's my parents, and then there's, like, 3 older couples, and then I have 2 younger couples.
That's Rex Solarism right there, by the way. I'm just going to go out on a limb and guess that things are going to go really well for you when it comes to marriage. Yeah.
Not about marriage, but about a career choice. Like, I had a plan to go, like, into to be a correctional officer for 4 years because it's pretty easy to get into in order to build up a resume to go into the troopers. And that's kind of like what I was thinking. I was thinking about teaming it up with the National Guard as well. And because, like, I ultimately wanted to, like, get into the troopers, or, like, I was hoping. And so I went and I talked to my pastor, as well as one of my bosses that I have a really good relationship with, and some other people from my church. I think they all were from my church, but people I respect and love in them. At least 4 couples that I talked to. And
Good.
all of them just told me, if you are hoping to get into the troopers, don't go correctional officer, don't do military. If you just apply, right? And if you don't get in, then you don't get in, right? So that was kind of the counsel that I got. Might as well apply and then see. So we'll see where it goes, but I decided to apply. And I had, like, 1 day by the time I decided to. Got it in 8 minutes before the end, like, before I couldn't anymore.
Yeah,
So
good.
we'll see where it goes, but.
Okay. So some of you guys are doing this here, on this here. I'm going to keep us back on track because of time. I did ask the question, and now I'm shutting it down right away. But I don't want to spend the whole time on just finding the will of God today. That's not all I wanted to. But just suffice that to say, involve people. That's how you find the will of God. That's what Proverbs is telling us that, right? Like, I'm giving you people in your world that will speak into your life on this here. And some of you might be like, that's a great idea, but I don't have an idea on anything yet. And that's okay, by the way. My invitation would be that thing that's in your heart that just kind of like keeps like tapping you on the shoulder. Lean into that. Lean into that. Read some books on it. Go volunteer somewhere. Go hang out with somebody who's doing the thing that you're maybe thinking maybe you want to do, whether it's a career, a ministry, a family situation, whatever it is. Go hang out. My wife did not grow up in a good home, and she was determined to have a great family. So what she did is that the pastor of her church homeschooled their kids, and so she just volunteered. Can I help homeschool your children? And so that's what she did. She just went homeschooled the children, like as an assistant to the mom that was running it, because my wife just wanted to see how a good mom did things, and it was beautiful. And I thank God for Susie Gadoo and the role that she played in my wife's life, and my wife turned out to be a pretty doggone good wife, or mom. Well, wife too, but mom. So anyway, that's how I'm living this out here. All right. Number 4. I don't know where we left off. We'll go west side again. East side again. East side, B side. We'll go to that. East side, B side. That fits Bridget to T. Beast. I know you guys call her that. Somebody over here. Read number 4.
Next, I take into account providential circumstances. These often plainly indicate God's will in connection with His Word and Spirit.
Good. Yeah, and this is where you start getting into the easier part. Is this clear on what this one means? You know, and I like that he puts this number 4 of like, some people want to put a sign from God as step 1. And it's like, I'm not going to say that there's never a time to do that. I just haven't found safety in that. I found safety in emptying my will, opening my Bible, seeking out wise counsel. And after that, then I look at providential circumstances. It's like, oh, all of a sudden the money's there. Or, oh, all of a sudden this person called me. That kind of thing, you know. So like this ministry overhaul that I'm looking at doing, is this getting streamed? I don't even know when it's streamed and not streamed. No, you don't need to. I was asking if it was.
Should be.
It was, okay, all right.
I proceed accordingly.
Okay. Right? You get this, you got the gist of that? I bring prayer into it, and I like this. I come to a deliberate judgment according to the best of my ability and knowledge. So when you go through this process, empty yourself, palms down. Second, bring Bible open. Third one, wise counsel. And then after you get all this stuff together, you pray about it. You know what you do then? Just do what's in your heart to do. And it'll be okay. And I don't think you need to stress about it. You took the time to go through wisely assessing what to do with your life or what to do with that situation. Now just go to do the thing that seems like the right thing to do then, after all of that. I like that. I like that approach there a lot. Anyway. Is it making sense? At least how Mueller approaches it, how I approach it. I'm not offering this up as a standard. I'm just giving you an example of what it is. This is how I do it there. So going back to the ministry thing, if I can bring it back to this ministries and mercy thing, I'm hoping that this week, as you guys have listened to Kevin, Devin, Amanda, Satira, Cheryl, and myself, I'm hoping there's a couple of you that are thinking about this as a vocation. I'm hoping there's a couple of you that are thinking about this as volunteering. And I'm hoping there's a handful of you that heard all this and be like, that's cool, I'm not doing that. That's a win too, by the way. That is a win. But I'm hoping it's created conversations in your mind of like, so what direction am I going? And that's why we're talking about this finding God's will today, is that, figure out what it is you're doing. Anyway. All right? We're going to call that good? We're going to call that good. We never need to think about God's will again. That's the...
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Going back to wise counsel.
Yeah.
What is, two-part question. I guess I'm gonna go with the main one. When you have people in your life that can give you wise counsel, but they're extremely biased, what do you do with that counsel? And it's not godly bias, it's personal bias.
Well, first of all, everybody's biased.
Right.
This Ken Ham quote. Everybody's biased. It doesn't matter which bias is the best bias to be biased about. Kind of thing. I like that one there. So we're all biased. I don't go to counsel with everybody. And if I feel like they got an agenda, an axe to grind, if they're myopic, I just like, hey, maybe we'll get tacos sometime. Like, that's where I keep it. I don't go to everybody. And there's some people, when you start talking to them, you can figure out real quick, it's like, this is not going to be helpful to me. Even though I think they're a nice person, this just for whatever reason, we're not syncing up on this here. So there's that. The other thing is you don't have to do what other people are telling you. Like, I'm going to sit those 4 men down and I'm going to lay out my ministry. Oh, when I did the finance thing, 3 of them, 90% of the ideas that were shared there were good. A couple of them that came from the one guy, like, I'm not doing that. And you just go to that. I guess you don't bring them in to order your life. You bring them in to give you perspective. And I don't know, that's for me at least. Yeah. All right. Ready for another scenario? I'm going to give you another true story. Case study. All right. We got a husband and wife, or dad and a mom. This is a blended family, but because I don't want to spend 400 hours explaining. Do you guys have those, like, family trees? Like, oh man, they used to do this in school. I don't think schools do this anymore. Where it's like, draw out your family tree. And then there's some families is like, oh, the kid's like, there's not enough paper in the world to explain every single relationship in my family here. Yeah, and I think that's why schools don't do it quite so much anymore. But keep this simple. This family had 10 kids. All right, what are we up to? 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is that 10? 3, 6, 9, 10. Yep, okay. These were the girls. All right. Those are the girls of the family. 5 boys, 5 girls. They had, no, we're not live streaming this one.